Hello, everybody. I hope you're all doing really well. Right, I was supposed to be in Nevada this week, but for obvious reasons, that conference in Utah was canceled. So I have a little bit of extra time to spend on doing maybe another video or so. And I thought today I'd do a little review. Now, I haven't done an awful lot of reviews in the past, and to be honest with you, I'm not terribly good at reviews because I'm not into all the technical aspects of the gear that I use. I just use it, and if it works, great. If it doesn't work, then I'll either get rid of it or pass it on to someone else or whatever. Now, one piece of gear that I've talked about before, and I did a video about 2 years ago now, are the boots that I use. Now, if you watch my videos on a regular basis, you'll know that I'm always wearing rubber boots, welly boots. And the reason why I like them is that they enable me to go on pretty much any terrain without getting wet feet or cold feet. Now, obviously, if I'm in the desert, I'm probably not going to wear my rubber boots. But where I live on Vancouver Island, a lot of the trails are often wet, muddy. And unlike Gavin, I'm not really into the flip-flop sandal thing. Unless I'm sitting around a campfire in the summer, then sure, I'll wear flip-flops. But on a regular basis, I don't wear them. So I wear my boots all the time. And in some cases, I probably wear them too much. Now, my last video, I did a review about a pair of muck boots that I bought, and they were excellent boots. But unfortunately, I had to retire them because they got a couple of holes in them. And nothing to do with muck boots. I think muck boots as a company are a great company to deal with. In actual fact, I sent them an email telling them that, I'd only had these boots for a couple of years and they had holes in them, and they sent me a brand new pair of boots without, much fuss about it. And I'd used them for a couple of years. And, these boots, although they're made, you can hike in them, they're probably not made for the amount that I hiked in them. Like the last pair of boots that I had, I actually did one hike where I hiked out of Tonquin Valley, which is 24 kilometers in a pair of welly boots. So they're probably not really made for that, but that trail is so muddy that I figured, well, I'm just going to wear my boots all the way out. So since then, Muck Boots have sent me another pair of boots. They sent me this pair here, which are called the Arctic. Hang on, I've got to look at my list here with my glasses. These are called the Arctic Ice. And the reason why I replaced my old ones with these was that these were the only pair of muck boots that actually had a Vibram Sole. And I'm a huge proponent of Vibram Soles. They are excellent. So if you can find any kind of boots with Vibram Sole, most hiking boots have them, but it's hard to find a good pair of rubber boots with a Vibram Sole. And the reason why I like Vibram soles is they're extremely sticky. I used to have Vibram soles on my climbing shoes for rock climbing, and they've been around for a long time. So for general hiking, walking on wet rocks or mud, Vibram soles are excellent. Now, unfortunately, these boots, they're called Arctic Ice, which should give you some kind of indication of what they're actually meant for, and that is they're more of a winter welly boot. So on the island here in the winter, they're okay, but for general use, they're just way too hot because they have an extra thick layer of neoprene here, and your feet will sweat in these. And then, of course, as soon as your feet start to sweat, then they get cold. So it kind of counteracts the purpose that these were made for. But they are excellent boots. I've used them quite a bit now. They're not quite as high as the old pair that I had, which I really enjoyed. I really like the extra height on them. But so far they've been really good. These have you can adjust the calf width on them, which is really handy for getting in and out. So generally speaking, I really do like muck boots. I'm not a huge fan of the camo, but that's what they sent me. So, I mean, they were a replacement and they were free, so I was grateful for that. So what I've been doing is looking for other types of boots to get. Now, there's quite a few out there. Hunter make a pair of neoprene rubber boots with a Vibram sole. They have a couple of different models, and I was thinking of getting a pair of Hunter boots, but they're extremely expensive. We're talking 250 to 280 Canadian dollars, which is a lot of money for a pair of rubber boots. So you're paying more for the name, and I'm sure they're great boots, but I just thought that was a little bit steep. The very first pair of muck boots that I had were these, and these were great, but I didn't put much thought into them when I bought them, and there were a few things that I didn't like about these. First of all, they're not very high, and secondly, the sole on them wasn't really made for walking on wet rocks, and they're extremely slippery, especially now that the soles have worn down a bit. So I don't wear these anymore except if I'm in the garden or just putting around the house, but that's about it. There are some other companies, like I said. There's Bogs, which make similar boots, and we have the muck boots, Hunter boots, and then I found another company in the UK called Hogs and Fife, and they looked really interesting. So I decided to purchase a pair, and the reason why I got a pair was that they're a neoprene rubber boot, and they have a Vibram sole, and the price was reasonable. Now, I say reasonable, they're probably even more reasonable if you live in the UK, because this pair that I bought was £65, which is not bad. But the problem with living in Canada is that the postage is high, so it cost me £30 for postage, and then of course you got taxes and customs. So they ended up coming to probably about 180 Canadian dollars, which is still quite a bit of money for a pair of rubber boots, but at the same time, it's about the same as what you're going to buy on Amazon or any other brand of equal quality. Now, I'm not really sure if these are actually made in Scotland. I couldn't find where they're made. I suspect they're probably made in China, but correct me if I'm wrong. Now, I haven't worn these yet outside, so I can't give a full review of what I think. But just looking at them, they look like they're extremely well made and extremely well thought out. Again, they have a buckle here. If you have, easier for getting in and out, and if you have big calf muscles, which I don't, but if you do, then they're expandable for that. Of course, they have a Vibram sole. Now, these are a little bit different, and these are an all rubber boot, but they have a neoprene lining in them, and it's a little bit thinner than the Arctic ice ones that I have, which is a good thing. So, and the height on them is much bigger. I like this little lip here so that you can get these off and on really easily. And then I also noticed that inside there's like an elastic kind of rubber coating around the heel. And I suspect what that's for is to stop your socks from slipping down when you wear boots. I don't know if many of you wear boots, but you'll notice that a lot of times your socks are always falling down and slipping down. So it'll be interesting to see if that works. But like I said, these look like excellent boots. I'm really looking forward to trying them out. The price was reasonable. And the big thing for me is comfort, because I wear these all day and I hike long distances in them, so I want something that's really comfortable. And so far, just walking around the house, they seem very comfortable. But, that could be totally different as soon as I start using them outside. So I thought I'd just throw these your way if you're looking for a pair of boots. I bought these with my own money. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. And even if I was, I don't see what difference it would make. But I'm not affiliated with these guys or Hogs or Bogs or Muck Boots or any of those companies. I just like using these for general outdoor photography. I think they're great. Anyway, that's my short little video. If you have any comments down below, let me know. These are actually called, if I can see this without my glasses. Okay, so these are Hogs and Fife, and they're the Field Sport neoprene model. I think they only sell 2 or 3 types of rubber boots anyway, so One other thing I will say is, though, because they're a rubber boot, they're a little bit heavier than, say, a neoprene boot. So rubber is quite a bit heavier. So that might be a factor in choosing a pair of these, especially if you're on your feet all day and you're hiking around. Then weight can be a little bit of an issue for some people, especially when you're stepping over rocks and sticks and trees like I'm doing. Anyway, I thought I'd just let you know. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.